fall, streets letting gold glow. Candy cane dreams, peppermint flow. Got the crew all here, love overload. Family vibes, blessings in the snow. Merry Christmas to my road dog. Hey, hey. We keep it real, we don't stray. Season of the Savior, let's give him praise. Hey. Merry Christmas, my dogs always. Turkey in the oven, sweet potato steam. Eggnog spike, whipped cream gleam. Laughs so loud they burst at the seams. This joy's no cap, not just a dream. Through the highs and lows, y'all stay true. Every step, every mile, I owe it to you. Merry Christmas to my road dog. Hey, hey. We keep it real, we don't stray. Season of the Savior, let's give him praise. Hey. Merry Christmas, my dogs always. Jingle bells and 808s collide. Sleigh ride groove, holy love inside. Grateful for y'all, my tribe, my guide. To the King above, our hearts abide.
Bitcoin Christmas. I'm wishing for a Bitcoin Christmas, where fortunes gleam like winter's first snow, with every ticker's gentle hum, a promise of wealth to come. The market whispers through the frost of gains that won't be lost, wishing for a Bitcoin Christmas, with dreams of plenty to behold. May the charts rise with a golden hue, and every trade bring riches true. Oh my dear, yes indeed, a sight to see. Wishing for a Bitcoin Christmas, with all coins sparkling in the night and profits burning oh so bright. Oh my dear, yes indeed, my heart's delight. Wishing for a Bitcoin Christmas. I'm wishing for a Bitcoin Christmas, where debts dissolve in festive glow, with every candle's tender flame, a future free from worldly strain. The bells ring out a hopeful tune of freedom coming soon. Wishing for a Bitcoin Christmas, where every trader's dreams come true. May the charts rise with a golden hue, and every trade bring riches true. Oh my dear, yes indeed, a sight to see. Wishing for a Bitcoin Christmas, with all coins sparkling in the night and profits burning oh so bright. Oh my dear, yes indeed, my heart's delight. Wishing for a Bitcoin Christmas. Oh my dear, the season turns, the market sings, a wealth of joy on golden wings. With every chime, a dream takes flight. Bitcoin Christmas, my guiding light. May the charts rise with a golden hue, and every trade bring riches true. Oh my dear, we send you. Oh my dear, yes indeed.
Wishing Bitcoin Christmas.
Wishing
Bitcoin Christmas.
Velvet drapes had the moon staggering.
groovy.
Martini sweat, the night pours in. Diamonds wink, the room spins gold. Whispers stray, secrets nobody told. Champagne rivers, rivers run deep. Promises stack, but none we keep. Crypto cabaret, dance of the blind. Fortunes flicker, tethered to time. Champagne's pop, the clock won't rewind. Crypto cabaret, riches unwind. Neon ghosts haunt the mirror walls. Digital riches, high risk calls. Velvet gloves, handshake deals. Dark allure, the truth conceals. Bitcoins rain where confetti falls. Euphoria rises, the empire sprawls. Velvet and greed, the lovers collide. Promises bloom, but some divide. Crypto cabaret, dance of the blind. Fortunes flicker, tethered to time. Champagne's pop, the clock won't rewind. Crypto cabaret, riches unwind.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me for the introductory ceremony of the ringing of the cowbell. Grab your ding-a-ling, let it sing. You'll feel better. Procrastination, word for today. Today's show was sponsored by the letter 2, number 2, and the word boobies. Thank you.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, frogs and squirrels, to Late Night Crypto with Road Dawg. Sitting there looking at Bitcoin, just scratching my head, wondering what the hell? What the hell? Why you gotta? So here I'm on the 15 minute, not the 1 minute, this is a 15 minute, a respectable time frame for a DGen. It's like the weekly for the DGen. And we got a trend line right here, right? To another wick. Get a little bit of space there, gave it a little bit of wiggle room. Up to this wick, cut through that one. And this is the resistance area right here. We went up to 88,345 today, or 618 Fibonacci area when we take our fibs. Should be from right here. Swing hard or swing low. Tell me where. Don't lie on me. There we go. Tell me where price is going to go. 618 Fibonacci rejection, which is okay. It's okay. It could be we're on a downward trend, seeing that we got a possible bearish rejection there, even though there's a bigger trend line that's the main trend line that we broke back into. Wow, you trying us, Bitcoin? Why you being so nasty like this? This normally would be the bearish sign we're looking for to go short. I would suspect a lot of people are looking at this and going short. There are a lot of signs saying here to go short. Just saying. And that's an excellent place for a bear trap to continue and get a short squeeze. That's the bear situation. If things were just to turn around and we could definitely get a short squeeze and get some movement out of this. Okay, so that can happen. The signs that we need to see, well, on this particular time frame, would be to hold the 200 moving average, which we didn't. We didn't do it. Sad to say, but it didn't happen. But there is a hint of hope still here, because the 50 did cross bullishly over the 200. Technically, that is a buy signal. Doesn't mean buy now. It usually means buy the next pullback, which ironically is right here amongst us. And so how far down will you come, baby? What are we looking at here? So I can see why people would be a little wishy-washy on this play. Bear flag to the downside. Oh, there's a lot of bear signs here. Look on the weekly, man. That's got all the triggers pulled over there that we're in a bear market. Yet there's still that little fleck of hope in there. Maybe not. Maybe December is just good. Maybe we'll start coming back, and in January we'll take off. That's the hope. And 2026 will be an awesome year for at least Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum and Solana. Don't know about the other altcoins. So that's what we got going on here. And gosh darn it, if we come down on the 1 minute time frame, trying to look at this little guy right here, we just lost that. This is a small time frame. This is the 1 minute. So the ribbon is flipping here from this rejection here. So there could be a short-term short here, or maybe a long-term short. Hell, who knows? But there's some short signals going on right now as we speak. Might as well set something up for that. Let's see if we can get something. I've already got one kind of opened up. But now here's the thing, though. I mean, will this trend line hold? If we come down to 86.5, which is, what? Almost $1,000 down from where we are. I mean, is that enough? I mean, because that will, hopefully, I mean, if we're bullish at all, that will be our high area, or our an area of support. We would hope. If we zoom out and see why that line is there, it'll probably make a little bit more sense. And we've already cut through it a little bit. You can give it a little bit more wiggle room, but how much wiggle room can, you gotta draw a line somewhere. Don't be an enabler. And we got it from candle bodies to this wick, and that's all I'm doing for you. That's it. That's the extent of my hospitality, Bitcoin. My house, my rules. Come on, candle body right here. That solidifies it for me. So lose this trend line right here. This big fat one. I guess white's as good as we'll go for it. Here on the daily time frame, by the way. Let me move these guys out of the way. If we look at it from that perspective, I mean, and we got Lucy down here that's been giving us some support before. Go pay our lip service to her. There's some support area where we are that indicates, man, maybe there is a Hail Mary play to be had here in December. But then again, the moving averages over here, they're doing a flip-flop. They went bullish, then they flipped bearish again, 9 crossing bearish over the 21, indicating that, well, if we do come back up and talk to the 9 and 21, 90,000 is about tops for it. But what about breaking back into the pattern and a strong move? Well, that's our hopeful bullish pattern, bullish situation, and maybe we could skyrocket up here and talk to the 50. That would be weird, unexpected, unusual, if you will. But hey, I'm for it if she wants to try. Now, when you come down to the 4 hour, you'll notice how many green candles we got, and one of our first signs of recovery, or first signs of hope that we have, is to be on one of those strong trends. The strong trends always right above the non-moving average. They always like to ride above the non-moving average. You get above the 9, and then you can start riding that little puppy, right? You fall back to the 21 every once in a while to say hi, and try to continue the ride on up, right? That's what we're trying to catch over here. And look, we're above the 9, so we got that. That's in our favor. We just don't have a solid trend line here yet. We haven't really developed it yet, in my personal opinion. And the resistance is ahead. Gosh darn you, Bitcoin. Still, I'm concerned about this 200 moving average on this particular time frame, the 4 hour, which we follow pretty regularly here. The resistance, the triple threat resistance rejection over here, if you will, the 200 moving average. She's just like, I ain't having none of it. I said no. Security. And then Bitcoin started running away over here, got scared, whatever. Rolling over, caving in, submitting, if you will, with the rollover, the 50 crossing the 100 beneath this one. There's their point. That's not healthy. You know, that's not the healthy response that we want. But it looks like we're trying to challenge it. I think we're going to have to go back up and challenge some of these levels. And as we've seen, we already conquered the 9 so far, anyway, on the 4 hour time frame. 2 full candles outside of it. Surely it's got to be turning up some point. If we can ever be fortunate enough to regain the 21 and eventually see that 9 cross that 21, that will be the signs that the whatever accumulation stuff that we got going on over here, if that's what's going on, will be at its completion stage, and maybe we can get this crap behind us. But until then, well, there's a whole lot of rejection that could still be happening, and I don't want to talk about it, but we got to, because, well, that's what happens if we tick the bear market boxes often enough. Now, I gave this sucker all the wiggle room in the world right here, and she's disrespecting us. That's disrespectful. I mean, the initial theory started over here, and you look at that, that's a bearish retest, right, from the initial guy. But hey, just playing our angle idea, man. Playing our angle idea. You flirting with losing it, baby. Watching you very closely, Bitcoin. Watching you very closely. Your bigger ones have got some. Oh man, it makes me think if it breaks down, it's not coming down too far, or it's going to be very zigzaggy. At least starting kind of slow and painful. The kind that gives you hope that maybe it'll come back. Maybe. And then you find yourself, I guess it's not coming back. Bitcoin sometimes it just sucks. So here we are on Tuesday, and we got a nice pump today, right? And hit our head. And that's a respectable area. That's common. Normally, what we do in these situations, we're pulling our fibs, looking for a 382 pullback area. At worst, we'll be coming back and double testing. At worst, in the bullish sense, that is, coming back and double testing this area down here, where we got our W, right? Retest a pattern or breakout area. Blah blah blah. 86.5 is what I'm kind of getting from that. Let's pull our fibs and see what the fibs say. Fibs. I need you to snitch on Bitcoin. So 382, which we've already hit once, making this a little roundy top. Some people might be interpreting this as well, a lot of things. Some people might squint and see Adam and Eve, reverse Adam and Eve going on over here. That pattern shape looks something like this. I'm thinking, well, if you got to squint to see it, well, it's not that clear. Should that be what you play? Maybe you just, just draw trend lines. And you got an expanding, broadening, you got a bearish megaphone is what you've got. And this could be the partial decline happening here, or partial upcline. What would it be? Is it, I forgot. Well, whatever, the partial up move, not a decline, whatever. It levels off and can't get past there and then breaks down. These patterns do break to the downside. Blah, 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 take a measure move and all that, but this has not got the greatest measure move, just to be honest with you. Oh no! You deleted the trend line. Say it's not so. So, maybe we can interpret that. I mean, okay. But what's going on right here with these moving averages, with this one right here, Miss Lucy, the devil herself, curving up? Like she's going to bullishly cross the 800, which all the rest of them have done. The 360, the 200. And I mean, I know they're flipping over right now. And right now they say that. But what happens if we come down here to these areas, 800, or, probably down to talk to Lucy because she likes to have her damn nose and everything. What would happen when we come down here? Will we bounce? Will we bounce? So we never did label that little guy, did we? All right. 382. first area of interest to see what we get from there. Second area of interest is our 0.5. Wherever we do find support and actually end up bouncing could indicate and give us a clue, several clues as to where we could end up from. Unfortunately, we're in this area of where we just got to see where it's going to bounce if we're going to apply that theory, right? Now, there could be some that might want to take a Fibonacci reading from up here and see that we bounced off of this 886 area and interpret this as, oh my God, we got a harmonic. We just got to see where it plays out. And maybe there's an idea there, and that would open up, you get this little guy here. And it looks crazy right now, right? Oh, snap. Did we not get it? Click it. You got to click it before you stick it. Oh, man. There we go. It took that time. And... what the hell is going? That looks weird. Something's not right here. Something is not computed right. Oh, I see. Well, I screwed that up. I'm going to go from the way bottom down here and up to here and pull it back, and there's a positive 382 area zone here, so 886 pull up there, and should take us right around these areas right over here about 886 pullback. So there's a possibility of seeing this coming back right back smack dab down to this area, man. 886 of this pull could be okay. There's an idea. If it does, well, it's bullish, and that's a good place to buy in and bounce. That's just what this idea says here. But this one is kind of, it's got some room to be desired for its calculations there. But there might be something right there in that little M top from this high, and then our second lower high there. The relationship from there could be telling us something, but. And again, just to simplify that, using Fibonacci over here, we're basically looking at, oh my gosh, this 886 area right here. So if this happens, we come back down, we break the trend line already. I mean, altcoins, what the hell are they going to do? Typically, they will fall back too. And when we take a look at altcoins on total 3, just for reference, and that's what we do over here, we see that we're also beneath the trend line, and it could either be, well, the bull scenario is that suddenly we just get an uptick and a line of strength, some kind of good news or something here in the midweek, and then we just come up here and reclaim the pattern, and then that's bullish AF. That's great. That's awesome. But what typically happens, especially if we are in a bear market or in a bear trend, is that, well, this is actually the bearish rejection. This is the sign to go short, and put your stop losses here, which, like I said, if they go bullish, that's the short squeeze. That's why you get a sharp pump and a sharp, a nice big run up, strong move when we get back into these areas. So I would say, if I had to assign probabilities, I would say we got a 50-50 chance, flip a coin, are we going up or down? But if you ask the weekly, it would say we probably have a higher chance of coming down, because the weeklies have ticked our boxes that have recently and always in the past been some confirmation ticks for bear market's here, baby. You just don't realize it. And so are we at the period of denial? I guess we could probably pull up something. I haven't pulled it up in a while. Maybe it will help us out here. No, that's not you. The Wall Street cheat sheet. And we have the euphoria stage, which I guess we had a little bit of it, but I don't know. I would definitely say that we are in the anxiety phase. I mean, if we had to zoom out and look at a bigger Bitcoin chart here, maybe one that's not as messy, something that's... Now, this was the other idea I'm following here, that this area should be a nice little turnaround. We've already dipped down there, that 80,000 area. Just hope we don't have to go down there for our second double dip anytime real soon. I was expecting it in January, but that stuff, it can go there whenever it wants to go there, but there could still be a chance to bounce from the 80,000, believe it or not. So there's still some hopeful scenarios. even if we go down further, there's still, if you're looking for some hopium, you're going to find some hopium at this stage in the market. Whether it actual hopium turns out to be, well, I guess I had that up there. You guys didn't see it. That's Sean. You're not on your job there. I was talking about this pattern right here. This area at 80,000, it could be coming right back down, for a double bottom is what it looks like. And when you zoom out, we've seen this before. So you got that saying, well, we've seen this before. Maybe it's what it's doing. Whether it comes down here, doesn't have to. Was hoping that, this trend line does a miracle, but we didn't get that miracle. Until we really knock out this guy over here at 74,000 and go below it, I mean, that's going to be our confirmation that, oh crap. Yeah, that's going to be the final confirmation for a lot of people. If we make a lower low, you're like, that's not a good sign. I think they may be throwing in the towel at that point. Ironic, I can think that's somewhere around Michael Saylor's average buy price, so it makes you wonder if they're not going to try to push down to try that and see what they can rock the boat there. I don't know. You got those theories going on. Still got an 800 moving average down here we got to play with. Hadn't played with that one since we were down here at 31,000. And you thought it would hold as support over here the first time we encountered it on the first drop, right? I don't think I was using it at that time, but if I were, I would have expected it to hold. I mean, it got some traction over here, but here it just dropped through, and then it was resistance, and the rest is history, as you can see there. We need a miracle to come in. We need a Christmas miracle, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm hoping for it. But man, I'm telling you, look, 9 cross to 21. That's more bull crap for us to fight through over Christmas holidays. You think it's going to be all right, but then it turns out to be just a bunch of crap and stress. Goodness gracious. How are we doing? 17 people hanging out with me. Thank you for being here.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Big give a shout out to people here, to everybody here. Well, shout out to you all, but shout out especially to Dave P, who continually gets to clap every time he comes here. Oh, yeah. Your wife or girlfriend might be noticing something. Let it spread. All right. Strega, how's it going? My OG Strega. Postmodern Oddities, how's it going? No hope for late night Degens. Strega says, I'm about to pass out. It is kind of late. Glasshopper, how's it going? Good to see you, my man. Let me scroll on down. We got Soul Side right here. How's it going? So good to see you. Brackus Adventures. Gonna miss some cooter. Cooter is very prominent down in the south there in the, I believe it's the Florida area. Is it the Panhandle? Is that where you're at, or are you deeper? Noodle Toffee, do we degen short or long on Bitcoin for the next hour? Well, I'm waiting to kind of see what I'm going to do too. I got some slonging going over on my little tiny account. Kind of a hedging is basically what that means. Aliens have landed, says Postmodern Oddities. It does look like she's trying to go short here. It does. I'm trying to keep my little eye on that. Bitcoin, but I can't do it on the daily, can I? It's at 87.2 right now. That's pretty sick and disgusting, Bitcoin. Sure. Looking at this chart, which is a different perspective over here. Maybe that's what we need to define our channels. I'm on the 15-minute time frame.
Thought it was Christmas morning.
It looks like a short to me. I mean, what the rules are, you break the trend line. That's when you want to stop and assess. You follow a trend line, preferably from the bodies or whatever. And when you break it, that's when you start looking for the opportunity to think about going short. Now, sometimes price, if we're bullish, a lot of times price will come up and maybe do a double top or something like that. But it usually, even if it goes higher, breaking that trend line usually always results in coming down. You can see that we didn't ride the leg up higher. We just started coming down. Even with this bullish cross of the 50 over the 200, she said, hell no. So at best, what I see is going to chop around here a little bit before we drop lower. And again, I think we at least come down to here, if not a little bit lower there. We did go up high enough that we don't have to worry as much about the lower areas, but there's still an 83.5 target. And see if I can do this shorthand here. That's close enough, I think. That's the measure move for this guy right here. And that's a Fibonacci A equals CD from the 618. So there is an argument for 83.5. If this little area here doesn't hold. Now, I don't think this is a major 786. I think it was on the. Where did you come in on? So the likelihood of that breaking. Let's see. Let's redo it. Let's get our fibs in order. Yeah. See, that is not really a 618 at that end. What the hell we got going on over here? Or a 786. Oh, you were from here. You were right. So it's a 618 from there, right? It was from. I think we did it from this guy to there. Is that what it was? That's what it was. Okay. So it's a 786 from this guy. If we're looking at a possibility of something harmonic going on here, it's kind of a little iffy. Did you get up there? I don't know if it qualifies for that. It looks more like a double top than getting enough to do a harmonic. But there's an argument for a structure to be here too. So I guess that's one thing I'm kind of got on the back burner looking at right here. If that makes sense. But broke this trend line, bearish retested that trend line. That spells short by just typical price action there. This is the 2-hour chart that I found myself on. I don't know how the hell I clicked over there, but lost the 9 moving average, but it's still got a bullish cross over the 9. That means we could recover, be surprised, and then just say, hey man, I'm find support down here at the 21 and bounce. We can kind of fight our way through here until it finally gives in and crosses back over. But usually, when you see it cross bullishly over, it doesn't. It takes it a little bit. It takes it a little bit to turn around, right? And usually, when it crosses over, there's usually some good price action that comes from that. So, you sound kind of wishy-washy, Road Dawg. Okay, so I was hedging there. I guess the long got stopped out. So we got our short in. My short was from right over here in this area. My average, I layered in. I didn't go from all in at one point or anything. So that doesn't give me the greatest entry, but seeing how she was coming down with her lower high here. And as she made a lower high here, like, okay then. She got up and then we didn't hold here. So I went ahead and layered in there. Actually, I think I was doing it over here. That's just kind of where we stopped out at. So it's up just a few pennies here, 2%. Nothing exciting to write home about. So let's see if it takes off there. I really want this to be a bear trap and for us just to rock the world. For Bitcoin to take over the world like it's supposed to. But it seems there's some other plans afoot here with Bitcoin. Maybe some of these big players realize, oh my gosh, we missed our chance to get in when it was cheaper. It actually is going to do something. I don't know. Wishful thinking there. Hello, chat. Slow Blade to 86.5. Could be. Miss Linda Anderson, how you going? Suckiest December since 2022. I gotta say, I can't disagree, Celinda. I cannot. It's been a sucky Q4. I almost feel like we've been ambushed by the big boys. We've been outmaneuvered, outplayed by the big boys. That's how I feel. Because the very months that we were expecting a good move is the very months they said, "Hey boys, let's pull the rug." And that's just looking from the outside looking in. That's just what I keep seeing. Tell me what you think. At least that was the bottom of the bear market on 2022. I know, and we got bear market vibes going. We got bottom bear market vibes going on right now. I mean, for some of these indicators and stuff like that. I saw Lark Davis a little earlier tonight, and he was pointing out some very good things too on the bigger time frames involving the stochastics, which I don't have clear up. I use Market Cipher with my stochastics, so I can't see it as clear as you would with the other indicator on. But he was mentioning, and I believe it was here, yeah, it was on the weekly, for last cycle, how we were down here, you know, because a lot of people are looking at it now. A lot of people are looking at it, and this is a valid strategy too, man. This is one of my big strategies is on the weekly. This is one of my bear market strategies right here going on right now. Okay. The only thing difference I would see is that money flow is in the green and not in the red. So this could, you know, it would be different from right over here, like December of 2022 that actually we're talking about right now. The difference is that we were already deep in the red over here, December 2022. But here we got stochastics are buried at the ground, right? And not only that, and if you guys are listening, I'm going to give you some what I consider alpha. If I knew this, it took me a while to figure this out, and this is like a rare. This is something that works on any time frame, but it works extremely well on the weekly, and it's what we look for on the weekly, especially in the bear market, is to find the stochastics buried at the bottom and also the RSI. And this RSI is low, but she's not as low as she can go though. So we're looking at what, 31, but 30 is the line you cross where, you know, that's you're in overbought territory. This is however far it goes down here, when it turns around and comes back, crosses that 30. That is your technical buy signal to get back in on whatever time frame. This would be the weekly. But we're coming down here toward bottom areas, and the secret thing is when the stochastics are buried at the bottom and this one flips on the bottom, there's your buy. There's your best buy on the weekly. That's a bot strategy. That's one of our old bot strategies with Gunbot. That's using two indicators and it works very effectively. Backtest this idea, and those have been the places to go in on Bitcoin or whatever asset when both of those especially on a weekly time frame. And what you would kind of do is kind of dial it in. You can fine tune it, but that's it. But if you had it on the weekly, then you would kind of fine tune it. You go to the daily and kind of line up when it's doing the same thing too. And you know, you're looking for something kind of like this, like this, and on the stochastics, and you're dialing it in time frame wise, and you can pinpoint really good places to snag your Bitcoin. I'm in the bottom scissors. And so that RSI just told us that we still got some more down to go, really, before that happens. So I didn't see that with what Lark was saying, but I saw that there on the charts there. But he was pointing out how a few of those signs. But what he was saying, I don't mean to get off topic, go back over to the weekly, finish up my thought. So, I mean, that's the strategy, and that's a good thing. Now, we're getting something similar, but I just pointed out we still got some, it's not quite there yet. But going back to last season, that's the same thing that was going on over here, too. They were bottoming out. The stochastics were right here at this point. They were bottomed out, and the RSI was also. It wasn't bottomed out though. It was down, but it wasn't bottomed out. Here's where it was bottomed out. That was June 2022 on the weekly, and that would have been right here about 21,000, and we later dropped on down. It bottomed out again right over here, but your stochastics have already it went up at that point.
Let's do the Bitcoin.
So the point Lark was making is the thing that we talked about here before too. We're down at the 100 moving average on the weekly, right? And we were able to get a retest of the 50 over here before capitulating, and that's kind of the same setup that we kind of. I mean, if I can get a cleaner chart over here. I mean, we're still in a similar. Can we get a clean chart? Oh my God! Which one are you? All right, I'm sacrificing you.
Buy low, sell high.
Nah, Hodel through the night.
Okay, I'm sacrificing you.
Rocket's glitching.
So very similar situation that we got right here as what we had last time too, and our hopeful situation would be that we get a bearish retest of that, and that's that $100,000 area, right, before maybe rolling over. If that's what we're doing back here, you kind of see the similarities of those points. So, and this is the point where you're kind of in denial about bear market. And if we follow strictly our trend lines, I don't like that. From bodies to bodies to this wick, you lost it on this chart. I think what I've done and what we've done is give it the wiggle room to the wick over here, the benefit of a doubt, because we're in that stage of, oh my God, that stage of disbelief, looking for any last bit of hopium to give us a sign that, yeah, we can bounce out of here, and we're at it. This is our last little bit of hopium right here. So I would confidently say if we lose this 100 moving average on this weekly, I mean, we start closing candles below, or start opening candles, especially below 84,000 over here. It's spelled out in front of you, people. There's a big sign there. Everybody's pointing toward, hey man, this is it. But I can't. I have no more arguments. I have no more arguments for hope that we come back from this. Couple that with the idea that the monthly has just now kicked off its bear trend right here on the MACD. So riddle me this bag, man. How does this work out? Either we get a shallow bear market that lasts long, that lasts less, doesn't last a year like we're used to for the transition. We get a short season bear market, and then it starts making a comeback, and Bitcoin starts coming back. And in between there, altcoins die again. And I guess in one way it will be good because, you know, all the thousands of coins or hundreds, I don't know how many coins are listed on CoinMarketCap and all that now, but I guess a lot of them will fade out of existence or out of memory and not be included in those indices anymore. Let them die and shrivel up, and that's sad, but it's not the first time it happened. It happens every cycle. We just got a lot more of them to die this cycle because there were a lot of them things had babies. Oh my God, they're worse than rabbits multiplying. Them altcoins just go crazy, especially the meme coins. They got cockroaches, man. They're everywhere. The freaking cockroaches. But let me give you let me give you some rays of hope. Let me show you the bullish signs over here. All right. So I mean, if we're going straight, this is the monthly, right? If we're going candles on the monthly, I mean, this candle losing it, but it lost it last month too, and pulled back to 98,000 last month. This one can still pull back. 9 moving average is still above the 21. This still looks good. There's still some hopeful signs here on the monthly. I see. Stochastics have already come down to the bottom here. And then our lagging, very much lagging indicator here on the monthly is the MACD. Let's see, RSI is already triple topped over here. Already gave us a head and shoulders to the downside. And I believe that we're probably close to meeting that measured move if we haven't met it already. Maybe just a little bit more. It takes us back down toward this little guy here. And I would say, this sounds a little crazy, but you don't qualify. Do you? I don't know if you would or not. I don't think you would either. That's kind of... It's at a 618 right now. I think that's interesting. This is the RSI. I'm charting the RSI here. I don't know if you guys know that you can do this, but yeah, you can. So RSI was following the trend, and we basically lost it, and that was October. We're on the monthly. Oh, we're on the monthly. We're on the monthly over here. Yeah. Forgot which time frame I'm on. You had a 618. There's a possibility of you bouncing right here. There is a good shot of that. And I gotta follow up on that. If we do lose that area, then of course we got a more serious areas to look for right there. But all right, let's back out of that. So we're at a 618 on our RSI on the monthly, place where we could bounce. We're at a 21 moving average on our monthly. Stochastics are at the bottom. RSI, I mean, we just talked about that. It's a place where it can bounce. So those two could bounce right here on the monthly. There is still a rays of hope out here. So I still see rays of hope. It was just a scary situation here. And maybe there is consolidation around these areas for another 4 to 6 weeks, God forbid, but until they get things straightened out and money printer go burr. I mean, it's basically money printer go burr that would drag us out of this, at least for Bitcoin. Okay, so monthly, that looked interesting. Let me check out you here on the weekly. Now think about this for a moment. Now here we are on the weekly on Bitcoin. Some of these are giving a green dot here on the weekly. This particular chart hasn't, but if I go over here to this one, you can see right over here, you got a green dot on the weekly. Look how deep that the momentum wave is. That's like here on the weekly. That's bear market places. This was June 2022. Right over here was December of 2018. This was December of 2019. I mean, we're not quite as deep as we were over here, but let's just do a little back testing exercise. And every one of these deeper bottoms here below, I believe I guess this is maybe where we are now. Right here. I want to draw a horizontal line here so we can see which ones qualify. You don't really qualify. We'll put this one a different color just to see what the difference is. All right, so that's what our indicator looked like. Let's take what was price action doing when we were down here at these areas on the weekly? This low at this negative 69. See that? I didn't make it up. It says 69 right there. You can't. I'm just saying. Only in crypto would it do that. Why are you clapping, pervert? Anyway, let's go to what happened over here. Where were we at that point? Well, the very first one was when Bitcoin was at a very low $3,800. Oh my God! Don't you wish that you had bought as much as you could have then? back in December 18th. Too busy chasing altcoins back then. And what about here? I was mining back then, though. December 19th, that was the one that was kind of iffy. It was higher, right? And that's right before we came down. And then, of course, this was the pandemic right here that just reset everything. And the argument was that, well, we were headed to try to do this part back here. And the pandemic, did you throw us off? I mean, technically, you would have thrown us off a little bit, wouldn't you? By a good 200 to 300 days there. That might be interesting to calculate in on some kind of weird time-based thing. Compared to the halving, what effect did that have on the halving with the pandemic? Anyway, our other one was right here, and this is when we were at 19,000. Of course, then something else unwound, and we dropped down to 15. When was this? August? I thought November was, I think November was FTX, and that took us down to 15,000 right there. I'm pretty sure FTX was November, so this was after whoever else, whatever, 3 Hours Capital, everything was unwinding, some other stuff going, I can't even remember. It was just bad news after bad news after bad news after bad news, and thinking, oh gosh, maybe we finally reached bottom, because, well, that should have been really close to it over here. But no, we had lower. All right, so is that where we are now? Are we at bottom now and we got lower? Just a wee bit lower and then that's it? Or something like that? I don't know. I mean, even back here, it took it a while before it actually turned back around. And so let's take our bars pattern. Hello, microphone, real close to my mouth. And I don't know that we'll get anything similar to that. Well, what would that look like? Here on this very messy chart. Oh man, should have done that on the other one. Let's put it down here to the wick. 77,000. Scale to scale. Alright, so I'm gonna... What is going on over here? What is this mess? What chart is this? Is this your CoinX? That is the weirdest price action I've seen right there. That makes no sense with me, CoinX. What the hell? I think I saw that last night, and that's freaky price action. What the hell is going on here? I haven't noticed anything. I've got spot margin over in CoinX, and I've got some perpetual futures. I haven't noticed anything crazy going on, but that's weird. I think I'm going to just clear you all out. See what the hell. Make you our clear chart or a brand new chart. All right, so going back over the weekly green dot on the weekly. It hasn't confirmed yet, so it can still disappear and say, oh, my bad, never mind. But that's a hopeful sign for what might be going on. So again, trend lines. Technically, we lost that little sucker, and we're giving it all the wiggle room we can right here, or I am, from bodies to wick to these first bodies that we got over here. And that makes a valid trend line. I got three solid touch points here on the weekly, and this little bastard looking like she's trying to get scary again on us right here. But I gotta remind you, it was all these other candles right over here. They look the same thing when they were doing the same thing. So you can't wait until the candle. You got to see the candle close. I mean, that was a big old candle, thick candle right here. And seeing that thing all full down to 82,008, making you think, oh my God, I got to get out. I don't know, we got to go short, and that's what everybody was doing. So, should we go short? If it can get back up here. 9 moving average on the weekly is still at 97,000. At some point, we will touch that thing again, but here on the weekly, we haven't touched it since back up here at 112. It's longing to be touched. You need to go touch it. It needs some touching. Hug it. Squeeze it. Stroke it. I don't know. Make it go up instead of coming down. I got to get off of here. I can't stand this price action. That's weird AF. All right, so here, this is on perpetual futures on MEXC. This is the MEXC Bitcoin chart, and you can kind of see the bearish retest idea spelled out a little bit more over here. But you can also see the little support of the 9-moving average, which might just cuddle us, bounce off, and we get to do a short squeeze over here and come back up and test this 200-moving average area at $90,000. That would be sweet AF. That's what I'd like to see, but you know, you don't always get what you want. That's what we would hope. All we can depend on is the broken trend lines and shattered dreams and Meanwhile, back on the 6-minute time frame, we have lost the 200-moving average. Ethel, it's looking downhill from here and hither. Well, that makes me want to add to my little paltry trade over there. Of course, that ruins my entry and takes away from my gains and everything. That was there's a nice little support resistance idea here. It's a little slanted, but I found that interesting. Well, perhaps I'm squinting my eyes too much. Losing the 9-moving average, or the 200-moving average there on the bigger time frame. And then finally coming back to the 1 minute, and now it's finally happened. So here you go. That's the old ribbon flipping happening right here. Now price might come up a little bit, and yeah, it's kind of, you can get some scalp shorts and nothing else, and if not, just starting a nice position, because this was the high. If we are going to go lower, like 83 or something, you know, this entry position here, you can look at the Adam and Eve idea, try to play that. If you look at that, if you're just trying to play that pattern, well, I mean, that's basically I'd like to see it a little bit differently, but hey, man, it's basically, you know, you're in a box and you got to measure move, and that one does point us down here toward this area to about 85.7. A little lower than here, but a little higher than here. Right now, she's wanting to go up just a wee bit before dropping further and breaking our hearts one more time if you're trying to long it. So if we take our Fibonacci's, most likely she will not make it past this area here at 87.4. So you can layer in some shorts. That's one idea to do over here, and instead of going all in right now, especially it's at the bottom now. I mean, she's trying to do short-term something, but layering in is one technique that I use, and trying to put bigger orders over here, and or even if you just do it, you know, just even amounts at each little area, that can put your average entry in wherever. A little bit more top-weighted if you do it this way. This price comes up and then drops down, you kind of set off some limit orders that way. So I use that technique sometimes. Some people, as it works for some people, it works good, especially for swing trading, because you got a day job and everything else, and you can't be in these charts all the time. It's about on the options you got to work with, and you know, then you can set your stops and everything at your areas of, you know, proper areas. Or you can set alerts and all the different types of techniques, or maybe she won't even make her happy little ass back up there. Maybe she's rolling over and going down now, and you got to chase it. Got to chase it. Not telling you to. She hasn't said that for sure she's going to do that, but she might be. So meanwhile, while this is happening, well, Total 3 is just probably freaking out on the smaller time frames too. Well, what else is it going to do? Coming into hump day, we're hoping that we would get a bump day, and look promising, and now it doesn't look as promising. But bodies to bodies to bodies, that's a nice level line right there. 4 hour, still above. I mean, you're losing the 9, but it can still bounce back. Are y'all playing with us right now? Are you going to try to pull a little something? You're going to try to run us up, and I would expect them to try to run us up into Friday. Maybe it happens. Maybe it happens a little bit later. Maybe Britain comes in and they start running us up in the morning. Look, it's a good day. Wednesday, yeah. We're making a comeback, and run us into Friday, draw us in on the weekend, play with us, whatever, set us up for some kind of failure next week, whatever. Yeah. My belief is they're already making their plans for what they're gonna, how they're gonna slam Mammoth over the weekend, trying to get us set up for the weekend move. I don't know if I was a devious, devilish practitioner, market maker, MFer. I would want to come down here and sweep these lows here. Maybe even take out this one over here if I wouldn't be real devious. Just sweep it up and then, wow! Let's go, baby! That's just me, though. If nothing else, do this one and then get everybody scared. Oh, we're all going short, and then do it. That's just me, though. I'm evil that way. You don't want me to be a market maker. I'd play dirty. Dirty players. Maybe I should be a market maker. Oh, yeah, you got to have lots of money to do that. I forgot. Or you get that exchange backing in there. 19 people hanging out with the turkey head tonight. And, what does it say? Postmark RDD says, dropping sugar and spice, and Straker says, been drinking, I can't see. Been drinking coffee and I'm still dead ass tired. Well, bring some coffee right there with you. DP says, first cooter than coffee. Glasshopper says that's a deep weekly green dot, and with bearish. I'm not super bearish yet. I'm just kind of trying to be neutral. I've got the hope that Bitcoin's got something up its sleeve for 2026. What would suck is that, if all this quantitative easing and, the economy starts turning back around and everything starts falling back into place, as long as we can keep some of these people in Congress from trying to derail some of these, or whatever powers that be trying to come against some of this stuff. But as we see some of these things coming to, well, things look like they could be on track to get better for 2026. And if the stock market's going to be taken off, then it would suck that crypto would be in this deep crypto winter, and stock market is getting all the fun with the quantitative easing and stuff. The quantitative easing, I don't know that it will have any effect on altcoins whatsoever than a runoff effect from Bitcoin. But for Bitcoin, I see no reason why, when they turn money printer on, Bitcoin is not going to get more valuable. Let's take a look at. I'm going to take a look at XAUT, and that's just basically gold. And it continue on up. That's a 4-hour chart, looking strong. We looked at it against Bitcoin. Was it earlier today or last night? I can't remember. And I wasn't expecting it to look so bullish for gold against Bitcoin, but it looks like gold has a chance to outpower Bitcoin, to outperform Bitcoin. And does that, gold keeps going up and Bitcoin just hangs or slow burns down for a little while? Is that how it happens? But we calculated the price out. If Bitcoin stayed the same price and gold went up to its target, gold would be sitting at a value about $5,000, and we're sitting at 43. So I don't know how that would translate as Bitcoin fluctuates in its price or anything like that. But that's pretty nice here for gold. This nice parabola. And you had the symmetrical triangle thing that's did its little breakout and hasn't made it past the top here. So yeah, still got some cautionary areas before it actually truly breaks out. It gets above its previous level there, right at $4,400. Looking juicy though. Trying to build my bag of gold over here. Remember, there was a point I was putting all my profits in the gold that I got from Bitcoin and everything else, and not letting it hold over there. But then gold got kind of wishy-washy, and then I quit doing that. I got a habit of doing that, but man, that was. Sometimes I get good ideas and then I get away from them, and then it turns out they were right, and that pisses me off. Pisses me off. A nice little possible channel. Postmodern Oddity says, "Are you in a short right now, Road Dawg?" I am in a tiny short. I am spot margin wise. I've got stop losses set, which I think probably got triggered. It's working. I hedge over there, and it's a different way to short. You got to borrow the asset and then sell it, and I layer it out. But I've got a different strategy. I work for spot margin, which has not got me a Lambo yet, but hey, it's there. But yeah, oh, we're up $1. And this is a small position because I got a small account, but I do want to add to it without FOMOing too much. So I may add just a very small amount. Like, is this the actual dollar amount? This is not my dollar amount, right? Okay, yeah. Let me get to a bigger time frame here. So generally, you want to wait till it comes back up on a retest to add back in, but my little degen is like, no, I want to do it now. Find me an excuse. Find me a trend line we haven't broken yet so I can make it. Which I guess is what we're doing here. What the hell is this? This is a 50-minute time frame. You can see the rollover happening right there. That is crazy. So 87.1, we're at 80. Oh, yeah, 87.1. It keeps growing. I keep wishing I'd added more, but I didn't. But it's a small account. If I can find a place to do it, add some more money to it, just a little bit. But it does screw up my entry. And if I do it too much, then by the time it gets down to its target, you realize, oh crap, I just kept adding all the way down to the bottom. I've only made 22 cents out of this move. You don't get any kind of situations like that. This area right here at 87. Let's see if we can bump our head back up there. It's a 21. 21x leverage. There we go. I'm looking for a limit. Okay. I wouldn't mind putting just a small amount here. 8,700. Psychological support. And I think this is the actual value, right? Not what I'm spending, which I wish it was what it's. Oh, yeah. We got to get this. Oh, we already got you, right? My stop loss is way up here. I could definitely pull that down to break even now, couldn't I? I should need to do that. That's what our red line is. That's our. So I want to pull you down to break even, maybe just a little bit above it. I don't know about you, but when price goes back and takes me out, and then I find out that I'm not in profit and I got an exchange fee, it kind of pisses me off. So if I can put it in profit, I will. You just keep on trying to go down, don't you, baby? What are you looking like over here on the smaller time frames? What you got going on over here? You getting some support, or are you getting ready to drop again? My little Degen just will not shut up, so I'm going to add about another $10 over here, which is in its value, not my value. I think it, oh my god, that one's about 50 cents. What's your position size over here? $225. Okay, we're going to go 10% of that, which would be $25, which means it's 84 cents on my side, so nothing crazy. And that brought me my stop loss down to break even, so. Since that's right at the top of these candles, I'm flirting with danger if I keep, well, I don't know, if I bring it down, at least I'd have something, right? But I get stopped out. I just want you just a wee bit. Can I put you down just a wee bit? Can I put you down? Yeah, just a wee bit, just a wee bit, just a tiny little bit, just a tiny little bit, just so I offset a little of them fees. All right. So my average entry is 87,315. 87,315, which is about right here. We're averaging it out about where we lost it. What, you come on back up now, you old bastard. What? I bet you're on a 113 right now too, ain't you? Yeah, you're right there at that area. So she might get a few little bounces in here. Just short-term fib action here on her way down to these juicy areas down here. 86,500. You want to take the measure move from this little old guy? It would scare you. Of course, they only meet about half of it. I'm going to take half of it. We do that. That also takes us right down to that area too. So it looks like we might be heading down to 86.5-ish. Yay, team. Bears cross over here on the 1 minute time frame. On our ribbons. It flipped officially bearish on the 1 minute. It's all over. Oh no. Zoom out to the 6. This was the little box of support that we had. We mentioned that earlier today, I think. And that's where we bumped our head at as resistance. We flipped this little support area. 786, 886 Fibonacci areas on the pool, what we're looking at. We flipped that into resistance. That's a bearish tendency to be having here, and something's already ticked off bear market vibes. So remember, there are lower targets that might be playing out from this move here, which could be, I want to use this tool over here. I don't use it very much. AB equals CD to the 1618. Right down there, 8,300. Probably looks a little bit better to do it this way. Oh, snap. So that could be what we're looking at too. And considering this bullish bearish megaphone pattern, could be. So we're hoping for a higher low, somewhere 86.5, maybe down in these areas here, 85. That's kind of deep, or right at 86. So 86.5, 86,000. That's kind of deep, but that's the extreme. Losing that, and then you're pretty much like, oh my gosh. Looks like the ABC, where you got it might have, and it could be part of the big drive down too, right? So those little patterns I showed you, those AB equals CDs, where I took those measured moves, they happen in something that's called 3 drives. And what you end up getting in the downtrend, you get an A. This is your first AB equals CD. This is your second AB equals CD, and this is your third AB equals CD. And you get there's the 3 drives pattern that works there, and it's harmonically, it's Fibonacci related with the measure moves. And you're just basically, get the same measure move. And that common in a downtrend, and we seem to be in a downtrend, so we might be doing just that right now. good news is after the 3 drives are over with, that typically things start looking a little bit better. And it's very similar of Elliott with his little three waves. I don't know if we can get Elliott's interpretation over here. Elliott, are you working today? Here you are. You got a 5-wave up there. Let's see what you got on the bigger picture things, Elliott. I don't think we consulted Elliott on the bigger picture. Maybe we should get his opinion over here. If we can get a clean... Where's our clean chart? Elliott. Here we go. Well, here's one idea. So this is kind of okay. So if you need some hopium, goes back to, I guess it'd feel better if I put the trend line back over here. But Elliott seems to think that there was a 3, 4, 5 wave, and we're on an ABC, and then we start the fun back over again. So according to Elliott on the daily time frame, this is the end of the C correction going on right now. And we should start bouncing from here. That's interesting. Elliott actually called this move to 127, if I remember right. We were looking at him one night, I think back here at the scary situation back at 79, and I think he was calling for that, and that one turned out to be right. Still didn't invite him to Thanksgiving because he's a weirdo. But anyway, that's just me. What about on the big picture things, Elliot? What can you tell us over here? What if we went to like the weekly or something? Have you got anything over here? What do you say? Oh, Snapdragons! Okay, so here, this is interesting. Here on the weekly. That's a weird, that count goes all the way back to November of that goes back to 2018 for your 1, 2, and then your 3, 4. That's legit though. 5, and I can see it. All right, so he's saying we got our A, or our A, we would come back up for a B, which is basically what everybody's looking for, right? And then of course you get your C correction down. But usually after that C correction, you start back the fun again. So if we're interpreting Elliott wave here, that this is just the corrective phase and not a downtrend, but a correction. That's cool. Fits with these moving averages. You got the 360, the 200, the 100, the 50. They're all in bullish formation, man. Of course, they were over here too when we went through the bear market, so you got that. But the thing for our bear market was just coming down below the 200 moving average here on the weekly. When we went to 1600, it was because we dropped below the 200, right? That 200 being 54. We didn't have the 360 back then on the weekly because, well, it's didn't have enough candles to spell it out for us, so I don't know what would happen there. But I would suspect that it was probably around there that we found some support. So what you're telling me right now, 41,000. I don't think that the C wave would be that deep. More than likely, it would be if suggesting that we would be coming down right around here about 65,000. Now that idea makes a lot of sense. Let me see if I can get that yellow line off of there. That, damn it. All right, so for the Elliott wave theory thing over here, and I'm not an Elliott wave expert, but I do like the harmonics, and we're using the fib, overlapping our fib ideas. So that would be ABCD for me, and an ABC for Elliott for this move. And look over to the left, and that goes with our idea that the bear market lows are generally right around the tops of the previous bear market tops. And that's roughly kind of true. We the top over here, depending on where you went, like this was topped out at 14. We know we went 17 and 20,000 in those areas, right? Where is this? Coinbase? Oh, that must have been when you went out Coinbase and went offline or something, and you didn't calculate the real all-time high. Sounds like probably what happened back then in 2019. Oh, we didn't go back to further. Okay, we don't have the whole history. That's why it looks weird. But generally, and that was one of the rules that kind of got a little bit debunked over here with the $15,000 drop, but still close enough that we don't go much further lower than our previous cycle tops. And so that kind of lines up with that idea. Even the 200 moving average here on the weekly kind of lines up with that idea. That's kind of interesting. But what I find really interesting is when we couple our trend line here with this, and you end up with this big megaphone or Livermore cylinder or whatever however you want to define it. It's all kind of the same general idea. I think even Elliott Wave's got a certain thing for these cylinders for wave counts to do inside of them, which I'm not familiar with. But if we could, there's a chance to bounce here and continue up, or we can do what Elliott's saying and do an ABC and give it up. I don't know. But either way, a dead count bounced to 100 or a little above 100 or a little below 100 and rolling over, doing the head and shoulders, blah, 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 coming down and trying to catch and start all over again. That's possible if we're trying to speculate and guess what happens. But also it's possible that this trend line holds. 100 moving average holds, we recover, and we are just at the area where we'll find out soon, damn it. We're at the FAFO area of the chart. This is the FAFO. So we fixing to find out. Which way it's going to go. And I just got a feeling it's going to be probably a quick move. I just wonder if it dropped, if it would kind of drop hard. Or if it bounces with short squeeze, that would be hard. I guess if it was short squeeze for both ways, maybe. I wonder. Ladies and gentlemen, hanging out with me. Grok Hype Train's departing. 109, you're lying. 22 people hanging out. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you being here. How long we've been going? An hour and 20 minutes.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, it is time for our coffee break. Good ass coffee.
The morning's gray, the clocks are full, the world outside moves slow, so slow. But there's a spark, a golden glow.
Hello, Cube.
Good ass coffee's here, you know.
It tastes like ass.
The best part of waking up is good ass coffee in your cup.
But it's the best ass. And also our attorney.
Crypto cowboys, moon or alimony bags. Subscribe to Road Dawg Crypto now. Like or bear eats you. Better call Road Dawg.
All right. Well, thank you for sitting through our commercials. And also those that might show up on your screen with the YouTube ads. Road Dawg Crypto is sponsored by Good Ass Coffee, says Ali Medina. The coffee that is good and ass at the same time. Stricker says, where's the coffee at? Anita says, can you look at ladies? Take a look at ladies. I think we've been looking at a Bybit spot. Did you? Was it a 4-hour chart? I don't remember where it was last night. This was 3 in the morning. Did it drop last night, 3 in the morning, after it was trying to hold this area? Is that what I'm reading? We probably looked at it when it was, well, about right where it is right now. This is the 4-hour. It's been trying to recover that 9. It's been trying. And it's been doing it here on the 1 hour. That's good. This is good. This is a good sign. That might have been the last little wick down for this area here. It's right at our 1618 area. From what was I looking at to get that? I was measuring. Oh gosh, we still got Elliot on over here. Where was this at? From here to... Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, I see it. So I'm measuring from this guy here to there. This little move here to get some of these fib areas. It's a little difficult with this big ass spike up there that it had. But it keeps changing bottom on me, so I can't really keep that one there. And let's see. Oh, why don't we do this one? We had to do this one. It must not have made sense. Now it makes sense, right? So from this one to that one, it did its full 618. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. It wasn't making sense last... Oh, because it was... I see. Okay, I remember. I'm remembering. And this was 3 in the morning. So last night it was hanging around here. I think it was below or this red line here, which was... It's like... It felt like it wasn't quite matching up as well. Now it makes sense from where it bounced. So it did its full... It did its full move. Meaning that should for this section here, that should be a bottom finally. I mean, hopefully I won't have to see that anymore on this one for a while. All right, so let's see what we can piece together here. Oh, what would I erase? I like to move it. That's how I erase my indicators. Let's zoom out a little bit and see if we can see anything else there. So let's look for some divergence here. Oh Lord, let's zoom out and look for divergence. You got divergence. You got this. What happened there? That was over here? Yeah. Alright, so notice how that we got from candle bodies to candle bodies right here at this section that's coming down. Pretty steep, right? To the bottom that we just hit. And then here you are on the RSI, and it is a steep ass divergence right there. Here at the bottom area of our RSI. And so we might have to wait until we, get some confirmations and we got some green candles and that was the bottom, but it's got a good chance to be kicking in there. And that was the daily, wasn't it? Kind of harder to see over here. I've got more hope for it right now than I've had the last few times I've looked at it. I'll put it that way. So let's see if it can start catching some traction here. On the 1 hour, it's above the 21 moving average now. It hasn't done that in a while, and it's holding it. It's holding it. Right? It hasn't done that since, and it didn't hold it very long. But it hasn't done that in a whopping 2 days. Oh my gosh, that sucks. All right, so hopefully we're looking at. I like this over here. I like the cloud too. That looks inviting for it to start working its way up through there. So maybe. Still, we're just looking to try to reclaim this area back over here at, what is that? 0s and 0.1. All right, so ladies. Cigar Desk says, lady looks bearish, down flow, buying flow going down. Well, I mean, it's been being beat up. It's been being beat up, and we've been looking for areas that look like they had potential to hold and everything. But I like what I see here. This one's got a better chance than what I've seen of some of the other things. But yeah, it has been beat up. What's going on with Bitcoin dominance? It was going up last time I looked. Let me pull up the actual chart here. Well, it looks like it's been going down. Let's go look at the daily on your Bitcoin dom. Oh, what's going on over here? We've got a lot of confusion going over here. bearish cross of 9 over the 21 and 100. Yet you got a bullish cross of the 21 over both of those. It's having an identity crisis here. That's bullish being over there. We want to see it go down more than we want to see it go up. But it looks like it's trying to move back up a little bit. Respecting this trend line here. This is on the daily. On the 4 hour, they've been making them higher lows there. Locally, last few hours has been trending down, and that should help our altcoins temporarily anyway. I can take a look at others over here real quick. And you would think it'd get more love since Bitcoin dominance is coming down, but it's coming down too a little bit, right? Altcoins just can't, these lower altcoins just can't seem to catch a break. Lower lows here. And we got our target area at 192. A few more billion more to come down to hopefully area of support. And that's sad because you did have a breakout of this trend line and you're just riding it down. Just riding it down, not doing what, not respecting the breakout there. Lowering volume though. So we got falling price or falling bars here, and the volume's falling too. So that means that this should be starting to weaken out down through here though. That's one sign. So let's see. A little bit more falling out of altcoins, and maybe we'll find some traction here. There's some rounding going on here, so we can point that out. And this is on a 4 hour time frame, so that's kind of good. That's kind of good. This is what? This is total. Excluding the time. Is this total 3? No, this is others, right? Yeah, this is others. So that's kind of nice. Just a slow kind of accumulation is what we look for. Now I define this. So this is squeezing down. We see that we got the squeeze, falling wedge, and lackluster breakout. I would say we're going to see a couple of things that might happen. That just follows on this trajectory, or maybe we get some kind of harmonic. We get a rise in altcoins and then we could keep this up into 2026. That would be the hopeful if we get some kind of little spike and a butt crack, harmonic butt crack thing going on. No guarantees that happens, but that would be fun. And then altcoins start reaccumulating for 2026. That's an interesting thought. I don't know. This does take us into January and February if we were looking. But I mean, if it's rounding, we're looking for it to squeeze. We're looking for a squeeze, and then maybe something like this, and then or just leveling out here, and then there's an expansion phase, and we normally see like one of these bearish megaphones, which is funny AF to play. This is kind of a good formation. I like this. If this will hold, if this will take, that'd be awesome for altcoins. That's not as bearish as what you would think. You think they're just going to keep falling and falling and falling, but maybe they just slowly accumulate. And we're at areas of support there. Or those big head and shoulders just going to kill all the altcoins. We're going to go to zero. No. I don't think it'll be that bad. I want to see what it's rounding. It's showing us some sign. There's trying to do something. Let's see what it can work out. Other times it started rounding. We got some come ups, and that's not even the best examples. Here was Roundy going up. Rounded bottoms pay the bills, baby. Here was Roundy, did the same thing. Squeezy, doing the little squeezy, and then doing the expansion phase, which is not that great over here, but. I guess it depends on how you want to look at it and define it. Any better examples? I guess we just have to squint our eyeballs on this one. She didn't get no butt crack over here either. You expanded kind of quickly. So I'm seeing a wee bit of hope for this, believe it or not. Meanwhile, coming back to Bitcoin on a smaller time frame, you just dropped that. What the hell? Well, I'm glad I added a whole $1. least we got something. There's that rollover of them moving averages right there.
Straight fire. I did the checkout line, now I'm stacking the green. Alcohol's pumping, living like a king of scene. Old boss cop, now you begging for a loan. Well, so thick, I'm thrown on my own. Party on a yacht, toasting to the past. Bull run glory, making the doubters gas.
That didn't set a stop loss? Nasty. Or did it cancel when it shouldn't cancel when I did. I probably didn't. I'm getting sloppy. That's how you get your ass handed to you. Oh, we did. I did. We said it even. It's just not showing up over here. I was about to slap my hand for no reason. Well, since we're deep into the woods, oh man, you could still, well, whatever. I'm gonna lower my stop loss just in case it does want to snap back. I'm gonna put it. No, I'm not going to put it too far down. It can still bounce back up there real quick. She does that. She did it over here. And what does that mean? Should I take the gains then? You got so many confusing thoughts. General rules, just put it at break even or slightly above and just try to let your trade ride. Or if you try to chase it, you're going to definitely get stopped out at some point. Surprise me. You take what little profits you got. I don't have a whole lot of profits to take, so it's best in my interest to let this little sucker play out as best as it can. Or just take what little I get if she kicks a comeback over there. Well, Bitcoin, she be a falling and she be a dropping, and now she's approaching that area that we were looking for it to maybe find some support just by the trend line alone here. And sure enough, there you are finding some support, and that's the magic of trend lines. And that was just a retest again. That trend line was just the retest of this neckline area. Zooming out, looking at it over here. Where did we lose you? I zoomed out too much. This W pattern right over here, or area. Just taking it to the top wick, that's actually where we come down to there. We're putting it even at this top wick. That's where we are right now. So that is something that we expect, right? Come back and retest that and try to bounce off of it. So there's a chance that this area will hold. See if it does. If it doesn't, then yay! And so if that's what we're doing over here, maybe I should put my little stop loss over here. I'll put it at the 9. Just so I can get a little something if it does decide to bounce off of there, right? And if she keeps going, then I can win more, but at least I come out with a little bit more and get stopped out at 0, so I'll make that compromise. I'll make that executive decision. Ladies and gentlemen, we're watching Bitcoin collapse before our eyes, but hopefully try to retest an area. It sucks to be in altcoins and crypto at the moment unless you're shorting it from a really good standpoint. However, Monero's not giving a damn. As Bitcoin falls, it seems to want to go up. That's just one of the Monero things. It's at 430, 426 right now. It was around 400, so you got a little something over there. MYX keeps hanging around 350. It used to be around $1 or something, $2 and something. Jupiter still sucks. It's 19 cents. And Sky is really heading up, going closer and closer to our 65-cent target. It's already hit 60. I think that was one of them. It keeps going up. These are the ones that are popping off right now. Right here. 21 people hanging out. Thank you for being here. Oh dear, the beat one that was up so high and people were chasing it was down 32% today. Pippin took a hit. So what are you, 35 cents now? Did it hit 50 cents? 50 cents was one of our targets. I don't know if it hit it or not. Zora's getting... Oh, Zora, you're back at half a penny now. Rabita by Virtuals. That one gets some action. That might be a little trader coin that we need to look at. See what the price action looks at. Fartcoin's getting a little love at 34 cents. Zbeck Network. I don't know. It always looks the same to me, but it says it's up 6%. I'll take its word for it. Monad and Sky still hanging around there. Ton's getting a little bit of love, but nothing to write home about. Other than Beat got beat up, and if I remember right, that was a Binance Smart Chain project, right? Funny how that happens a lot to those Binance Smart Chain plays, isn't it? They take off and then they get beat the hell up all of a sudden. It's almost kind of suspicious, I think. Bitcoin is saying, yeah, I like that trend line. I want to give it a little bit of love, see if we can get some traction there, and maybe the magic of trend line holds a little something. That was the target that we had put out there. I guess you can say we nailed it. At least that's what it looks like on the 1 minute chart. Could look totally different 10 minutes from now, but right now I'll take that credit and go, nailed it, because it's fun to say. Guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll be back again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see a little increase in Bitcoin, a little love shown to Bitcoin as they try to drive us up on some kind of shenanigans toward the weekend, and not just pile drive us down to 80,000, but you never know about these markets. We're at a point of support. Maybe we'll get some love. Maybe they won't. I don't know, man. It keeps ticking off the boxes for bear market, and I've got to respect what it says, because when I don't respect what the chart says, you end up paying for it. I'm tired of paying for things over here on crypto. Still waiting for them Lambo dreams, but I guess I gotta make some courses and sell courses to get a Lambo. That seems to be the way it's done over here on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'll see you again on the morning. On tomorrow nights. This is a song that technically would be copyrighted, so might be one of the few times you hear it. It's a Christmas song, but nice tweak on it.
Christmas calling. Oh, baby. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide cake. From now on, our troubles will be miles away.
Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore.
Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more.
Through the years we all will be together.
If the fates allow.
Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore.
Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near us once more.
Through the years we all will be together. If the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow.
So have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Christmas. Woke up to a green candle, thought it was Christmas morn. Check my phone at the bus stop, portfolio reborn. Mom said put it in premium bonds. I said, Mom, you're adorable. Now I'm refreshing charts in the loot, feeling deplorable. Yeah, brilliant. They said just hold out, darling, the moon is on its way. But the moon's got a mortgage and it's late on the pay. Hey, 'cause a bull run is a fairy tale. Once upon a time, then they rang the closing bell. Big hands in the castle, small hands in the well. The bull run is a fairy tale, go to hell. September used to sparkle, October wore the crown. November brought the gravy, December wrote it down. Now every month's a guillotine, the charts are painted red. The whales are doing pie eats while we're financially dead. They said buy the dip, my love, it's only paper cuts. But the dip's a bloody canyon and we're running out of guts. Classic. The bull run is a fairy tale. Glass slippers just a margin, core size 12, triple L. They're gobbling up the satoshis we dropped when we fell. The bull run is a fairy tale, go to hell. Once upon a block, there lived a little lamb. Then the wolf bought the abattoir and rebranded it Defeat. Terms and conditions apply. Bars, wonkies, and trade reels like a slot machine panic attack. Beep boop, sold. Retails on the group chat, typing when Lambo in caps. Darling, it's pronounced Lamborghini. Captain's going down with the ship, still saluting the collapse. Institutions in the VIP, sipping vintage fear with the confetti on the floor that they vacuum once a year. The bull run is a fairy tale, happy ending got delisted. Chapter 11, retail pale. They're stacking sats in bunkers while we're flogging off the grail. The bull run is a fairy tale, and we're the cautionary tale they tell. Once upon a wallet. The end. The end. I overdosed on all coins, chasing that high. Grease my poison, watch my dream fly by. Stooping, move, stacking like a bad trip. Spin, overdosed on all coins.